Hello. Do you work in a school, college, or residential setting? If so, can you relate to these statements? I started working in schools because I wanted to make a difference. Lately, I've started to feel exhausted and disillusioned with my role. I still care. I don't want to let people down, but I don't know how much longer I can keep going. Working in schools and residential settings and colleges can be rewarding and challenging. Staff working in universities, childminders, staff working in nurseries, similar settings, they all experience very purposeful jobs, but they all come with a lot of stressors. Some stress applies across all settings, while some is unique to each setting. Many people are drawn to their job because they felt that by doing it, they'd make a positive difference in the world. Their role is challenging at times, and stressful situations can begin to take their toll. They become overwhelmed. They might begin to question whether they can cope. They forget to look after themselves. This makes the situation worse. Does this sound familiar to you? You need to look after your own well-being if you have a challenging job role. There are a number of strategies and resources that you can use to help you thrive rather than merely survive. This book, in fact, this course, will guide you through a year-long well-being course for staff. There are 6 modules, and each module has 6 short sessions. This is one of the accompanying videos on YouTube, and in the ebook there is a link to the videos. If you keep checking back, I will keep uploading new videos to support you. These videos are continually being created, and as I said, as they become created, you can click on the link and you'll find the latest ones. Seeking help. Before we go any further, it's important to recognise that if you're struggling with your mental health, reach out to your doctor or relevant health professional for help. Let's define well-being. What does well-being mean to you? To me, having good well-being is about feeling good and positive about life rather than just having the absence of illness. Working through the course, it's been designed to take a year to complete, but people will do it at different speeds. So find a pace that works for you. At the moment, as I record this, up until September, I'm very much in a pilot phase, and I would really welcome, in fact, beyond then, I would really welcome feedback. If you think there's something that I can do on a video that's going to support people more, or a course I could run online, or a group program I could work online, please let me know, and I'll see what I can do. The activities are short. If you work through this program steadily, you'll find that you will learn and use strategies that become second nature over time. This means that you'll be able to apply what you learn here to boost your well-being on a regular basis. If you find the course helpful, please review the book on Amazon, because that will help for me to reach more people and help more people. Why did I write this book? Why did I create this course? Schools, colleges, residential staff, they perform such an important role. If you work in any of these settings, you deserve as much support and encouragement as you can get. I've worked in schools and residential settings for my entire working life, and I know how demanding your jobs can be. Accessibility. The book and videos are as affordable and as accessible as I can make them, so that cost is not a barrier to people who might benefit. We live in challenging times. People are living stressful lives, and the world of work is one area where people experience a lot of uncertainty and anxiety. This book has been written primarily for people who work in schools or carry out residential work, but it will be helpful to anyone working in similar roles. In schools, we have teachers as well as many support staff who actually keep the school running. There's cleaners, office staff, kitchen staff, caretakers, and many others who run things behind the scenes. I'm writing this at a time when there's a lot of news about schools in the press. Budgets are under pressure. There's difficulty recruiting and retraining staff. This can be a worry for school staff as well. Teacher stress. There's a lot of reasons why people go into teaching. Many train to become teachers because they wish to make a positive difference in the world. They start with good intentions, but the demands of the role can take their toll, and this can lead to disillusionment and stress for many. The Stress Awareness Society chose April to run a Stress Awareness Month. This has been running since 1992. This focus is particularly important for school and residential staff. If you're stressed, you're not in a good place to support others, and that's one reason why it's so important to take time out and identify ways to reduce your stress levels. So let's define stress. Stress is the body's natural reaction to perceived threats. Challenging events can trigger a fight, flight, or freeze response. This leads the body to release hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol. We cope well with a certain amount of stress, but when the stress levels get too high or they run for too long, we do risk burning out. What is burnout? Burnout is a state of chronic mental, physical, and emotional exhaustion, and it's caused by prolonged stress. It's often work-related. High stress levels can cause physical symptoms such as increased heartbeat and muscle tension. It can also create mental strain. It's important for us to find ways to manage our stress, or we can become unwell. How can we do this? The Stress Management Society recognises that small actions carried out regularly can help people to cope better with stress. The resources in the Stress Management Society actually would be of great benefit to stress school and residential staff. In the ebook, there is a link so you can go and you can find that webpage. In 2026, their focus is on Be the Change. It points out that society focuses a lot on individual achievement. This can also happen in schools, and people can feel under pressure to perform well. While individual achievement is important, we have a fundamental need for human connection. When we connect positively with others, we thrive. This is known as relational well-being. We'll be exploring how we can achieve this further on in the course. The key is for us to find a healthy balance between individual achievement and human connection. We also have a need for self-efficacy. We can start to feel that we've got purpose and that we're in control of our lives. Our intentional action, or neuroplasticity, gives us increase in control in our lives, and that's when we have good well-being. How can we make things better? We can learn how we can act to improve our lives. We can work through our limiting beliefs and find ways to connect meaningfully with others. If we can do all of those things, we are taking strides towards good mental health. What are the challenges? Excessive workload. Residential staff and staff working in schools often cope with what can be regarded as excessive workload. If staff are absent, other staff have to step in to cover for them, and when staff are stressed, they're more likely to be ill, so this can create a vicious cycle. Long hours. Often staff work long hours. They regularly end up taking paperwork and other admin tasks home with them, as their working day is very busy. If this happens regularly, it can be hard for staff to switch off from work, and this can lead to poor well-being. Unions report that many teachers are working over 51 hours per week. This work often comprises of planning, admin, and marketing. Worries about Ofsted and accountability. Staff also report stress connected with performance. Schools and residential settings have regular inspections. They often experience mock inspections in the run-up to the actual inspections, and this can add to that being on high alert all the time. Pupil behaviour. In schools, staff report they can find pupil behaviour challenging. This can be made worse when the setting doesn't have enough key staff or resources to support the specific behaviour. Poor work-life balance. Staff working in residential settings and schools often work long hours. Some follow a shift system. It can be all too easy to neglect your own needs when you're busy, but this further increases the possibility of burnout. Staff shortages. Schools and residential settings experience recruitment and retention challenges, leading to high rates of absence. This can mean staff are called to work extra hours to cover missing colleagues. Lack of resources. Pupils with special needs and difficulties, or SEND, often require special resources. If settings don't have those resources, life can be further challenging for staff and children alike. Curriculum and policy changes. Staff report frustration with a number of policy changes brought into settings. It can be a bewildering experience trying to keep up with what's expected of you. Parental expectations. Parents understandably want the best for their children. Sometimes communication between them and the school can become challenging. This can add to further stress. Budget cuts. When budgets are reduced, this puts further stress on staff, fewer resources, and possibly threats of redundancy. Fewer staff make it harder than ever to run the school or the residential setting. Supporting pupils with mental health. An increasing number of children and young people are experiencing mental health challenges. Supporting them can be a complex process. These stresses impact staff. The National Education Union reports in 2023, 75% of teachers experienced poor mental health symptoms. 80% said they experienced work-related stress. According to the Teacher Wellbeing Index, 86% of senior leaders reported feeling stressed in 2025. This shows that stress affects staff across the board. Support staff. In 2024, according to the NEU, support staff also found poor work-life balance to be an issue, but the main sources of stress were reported to be insufficient staffing levels and pay. Work-related stress isn't the whole picture. There's a number of other stresses that can affect all of us at different stages in our lives. Think about the life stresses that you have. It could be bereavement. When a loved one dies, this can be a devastating experience. Coping with grief and loss on top of work-related stress can be very tough. Divorce or separation, relationships can break up. This can affect every area of life. Experiencing relationship difficulties while trying to stick to work commitments can really add to strain. Parenting. Being a parent is rewarding. It's also challenging when your child is ill or requires time off school. It can be hard to juggle caring for them along with your work responsibilities. Sometimes your school requires you to work late, and this means that you need to find someone to pick up your child from school or nursery. Personal illness or injury. When you become ill or get injured, or our loved ones have an illness or accident, we can find life very challenging indeed. Menopause. Many women experience further stress when going through the menopause. I'm in the process of writing a book to support people as they go through this significant life change. Follow my Amazon author page so you know when it's being published. Fear of losing your job. Whenever there's budget cuts, people begin to worry their job may be at risk. This can be a stressful experience. Even the thought that our job may not be secure can add to the existing stress that we might be experiencing. Finances. Worrying about money added to other life stresses can lead to us feeling stuck and overwhelmed. Retirement. As we approach retirement, we may worry we don't have enough pension to live on when we retire. When these stresses pile up, it's hardly surprising we can feel challenged by life at times. How can we cope with all of this? Start by making time for yourself. Constant worry is not good for your well-being, and when you notice that you're worrying, stop, pause, take a breath. Remember that you are unique and you do make a difference. It's important to take time out for yourself, ensuring that you make time to do and talk about the things that you love to do. Try to make self-care a daily act. If you don't care for yourself, you'll struggle to care for others. Shortly, I'll be introducing the Staff Wellbeing Programme, which will offer strategies and suggestions to support you with your well-being. Before that, let's explore how schools, colleges, and residential settings can help. What can schools and residential settings do? They can offer free activities with a well-being focus, such as mindfulness sessions, at times that are convenient to staff. They can ensure that they focus on strengths in appraisals and find ways to communicate clearly to staff in every role. It's important that they normalise talking about well-being so that staff are willing to come forward if they do require further support. Training staff in mental health first aid and suicide first aid can help them to feel confident in supporting their colleagues when they're struggling. Motivation. Staff working in schools, colleges and residential settings, they do it for a variety of reasons. There are intrinsic or internal factors that motivate people to work. Staff are likely to feel fulfilled by their role as they wish to make a difference. There's also extrinsic or external factors, such as a belief that they'll receive fair pay and be recognised by others for what they do. Work culture is important. Staff benefit from a comfortable working environment, supportive management, and collaborative staff teams. When there are insufficient resources or a lack of appreciation, staff are likely to experience low morale. People working in schools and residential settings are often motivated by wanting to make a difference in the world. Loving learning, wishing to act as a positive role model, and career stability are further motivators. Some people are drawn to supporting people who face challenges and disadvantage. They aim to help them develop resilience and empathy. Some people were inspired by a staff member when they were younger, and that motivated them to follow in their footsteps. Quitting. Why do people leave education? Research suggests that despite thinking they knew of the work pressures of their chosen career, many cited workload pressures as the key reason for leaving their profession. Some people said that they left the profession as pay wasn't keeping up with living costs. As we've seen, there are many things that your work setting can do to support you. There are also lots of things that you can do to help yourself. This is what we will explore next. Well-being for support staff. There are ways that you can support your well-being on a daily basis. And this is really important because doing a little bit every day over time can really add up and make a difference. The 5 ways to well-being are evidence-based strategies to support well-being. Basically, they're clear and easy to use. The NHS has adopted them. If you look on the NHS website, you will find the 5 ways to well-being. The suggestion is that we aim to connect, be active, take notice, keep learning, and give. When we do these things, we do manage to boost our well-being. Connecting. When we're able to connect with others, this supports self-worth. We can share positive experiences and reach out for support when we need it. There are barriers to our being able to connect meaningfully with others. Long hours at work, along with all the same pressures and deadlines, can reduce our ability to connect. Lack of sleep can reduce our willingness to reach out as we feel tired and irritable. As we get more stressed, we can feel more withdrawn and less willing to engage with others. This can make us feel even more stressed. Time off to connect with others is not always possible. Sometimes we're invited to events, but our work schedule means we're unable to participate. Be active. Being active is beneficial, and yet we can struggle to motivate ourselves to do that. Notice. When we're caught in worry loops, it's hard for us to notice what's going on around us. Keep learning. We struggle to find time to learn new things. Give. We can feel too drained to give our time and too worried about our bank balance to give financially. Change. How can we make changes that will allow us to focus on the 5 ways to well-being to improve our lives? How coaching helps. Coaching is a useful, evidence-based approach. It can help you to notice negative thought patterns and find ways to reduce them. It can help you to develop problem-solving skills and boost your self-confidence. Developing solution-focused thinking skills can help you to boost your well-being and function better in all areas of your life. You'll notice my cat has just appeared in the corner. My life experience. I've been coaching for over 10 years. Before that, I worked in residential settings, worked as a teaching assistant, a teacher, a special needs coordinator, and a head teacher. I've used my own experience together with the experiences of my colleagues and clients in order, oh my goodness me, to develop this wellbeing program. I've done this because I learned so much from being coached myself, as well as developing skills while training to become a coach, so I could help others. I'm determined to offer you support so that you can boost your well-being, and I don't want cost to be a barrier. Before we start, let me introduce rating scales. Rating scales, where you award a score out of 10, can be very helpful in helping you to decide how you feel about key aspects of your life. This can help you to decide on goals, take action, and then measure whether the action you take has been helpful or not. This can enable you to carry out more actions and then help you and reduce actions and behaviours that don't. In the next video, we're going to be talking about a rating scale that I call Whispers Wheels. And it's got 8 areas of your life that you can rate to assess at this moment how you're feeling about everything. I hope you enjoyed this video, complete with my stray hair here, my cat jumping about all over the place. I think we got there in the end anyway. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back soon with my next video. Bye for now.